Okay, so we are going to run some one sample t-test using SPSS. This video is going to walk you through how to download our in-class data sets, open SPSS, and run the one sample tests. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to download our two data sets. So you will click on the arrow and click download. You might get a pop-up menu that asks you where you want to download it. If you don't, it's most likely downloading it to your downloads folder. If you get the pop-up, go ahead and click save. And then we'll do the same thing for data set B, download. I'm saving it to my downloads folder and click save. Now I want to log into Office 365 so that I can access my OneDrive. You'll enter your University of Memphis email address and click sign in, and then you'll enter your password and click sign in. It will most likely take you to your menu and you'll click OneDrive, and then you want to upload your two files. So you'll click upload and then files. You'll go to your downloads folder or wherever you selected to find those, and you'll select your two data files and then click open. You'll get a pop-up menu that says it uploaded your two files. And if you scroll through, you probably won't have as much as I do, but you should see two different data sets. These are .sav files, which most likely you do not have SPSS purchased on your computer, so don't try and open them. If you do, it's going to give you an error. So now we want to log into University of Memphis apps and open SPSS. So just open a new browser, type in apps, and you will most likely get a recommended University of Memphis page called Apps Solutions. If you scroll down under Getting Started with Apps, you'll click Access Your Applications here. You'll enter your University of Memphis ID and your password and click Login. You'll then say Use HTML version 5, and you will get this menu. You want to make sure you're on desktops and you click Virtual Lab. What this is going to do, it's going to open a University of Memphis desktop computer so that you can access all of the software that is housed on a University of Memphis computer. You're going to go to the Start menu. You're going to scroll down until you find IBM SPSS Statistics. Click the drop down, and the first link there, IBM SPSS Statistics 26, double click that and it's going to open SPSS. You may have to resize your windows, and we want to click Open Another File. If you have already hooked your OneDrive account up through Kumo, you will use this drop-down menu and scroll down until you find OneDrive for Business. And when you click that, all of the files that you have in your OneDrive, the two that we just uploaded, will show. So we're going to click One Sample T-Test Data A. If you have not hooked your OneDrive up through Kumo yet, there is a document in eCourseware that will walk you through that. So do that first and then come back here. So we're going to open our One Sample T-Test Data A and click Open. All right, we have our data view here on top. We have our participant ID, and we have the test score that they got. This is the test score on the out of here test that our seniors at University of Memphis took. This is our data view. It's very similar to Excel, but if we click over to our variable view, we can see that it summarizes the different columns that we have. So we can see its ID and test score. Under Analyze, you're going to go to Compare Means, and you're going to select a one sample t-test. Our test variable, the thing that we're testing, is going to be our out of here score, and we are going to be comparing it to the population mean. And remember, the population mean had a 100. And then we're going to click OK. So we put our population mean in here and our test variable in here, and then click OK. And this is our output file, okay? What it's going to do is it's going to give us our sample information. So if we remember from our problem, we had 17 students in our sample. They did have a mean of 110, and they did have a standard deviation of 11.74, with a standard error mean of 2.84786, or just like we rounded, 2.8479. So In SPSS, it's going to do all of those calculations for you in an instant, which is why we want to use SPSS. If we scroll down in our output file, this is going to give us our statistical analysis. So what this is doing is it's running a one sample t-test, and it is comparing our test value, our population mean of 100, to our sample mean of 110 and seeing if there is a statistically significant difference. It's going to give us our t-value of 3.511, exactly like we calculated in class. And it's going to give us our degrees of freedom. Remember, that's n, or 17 minus 1 is 16. And it's going to give us our significance value. This is our p-value, which we will compare to alpha. If we remember, our alpha value is 0.05, and so we can see that our p-value is less than alpha, indicating that we can reject the null hypothesis. Okay? So let's do the same test again, but we're going to do it with our example 3 data. So we can close out of this. No, we don't want to save. And while we have this open, we'll go ahead and open our new data set. So we want to say open and data. Again, we'll use our drop-down menu to find OneDrive for Business. We'll click that and we'll find our one sample t-test data set B. Click open. Now we can see in our variable view we have ID and we have mileage, miles per gallon. In our data we have our 10 cars that were driven and the miles per gallon that they got when driving 500 highway miles. So again, we're going to go to Analyze, Compare Means, One Sample T-Test. We're going to put our miles per gallon into our test variable, and we're going to be comparing that to our population mean of 46. We'll click OK, and our output will show our results. We can see that our sample size is 10. It has a mean of 32 with a standard deviation of 9.33333, with a standard error of the mean of 2.95146. So we can see we're going to run our one sample t-test, and we're comparing our sample mean of 32 to our population mean of 46. So we can see our t-value that SPSS calculated is negative 4.743, or negative 4.74 when we're rounding. It has 9 degrees of freedom, which is the same as 10 minus 1, just like we found. And then it's going to give us our p-value of 0.001. We had an alpha of 0.05, so we know that p is less than alpha, so we can reject our null hypothesis.